What's up, YouTube? It's Mad Dog here, back with another video, and thank you so much for watching this video. Now, I got an idea for this video because of my last one. If you haven't seen my last video, I will either link it in the description box down below, or I'll put a card somewhere on the screen if I remember to do so. But anyway, one of my new subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing, by the way, if you have. Kind of recommended that I do, kind of like a layout or kind of like a video explaining how my guide works in ways of damage. Well, I was going to make that video, and I thought I should just do it right now. So I'm just going to go over real quick over my my palettes of how I do damage. I'm going to do the 20-second kind over here. So if you come in here, I'm just going to be using this to do my damage versus just going out in the wild, because you get an idea of how much damage you can do. So I was considered to free mode and just give myself, just a little bit of damage, which I probably should do anyway, because the 20-second calculation only let me do up to 5 times, and free mode lets me just go all out. So I will go ahead and do free mode. Like I said, I was going to do 20, but since I have 6 weapons and I can only do it 5 times versus just, opening up a new run, I'm just going to do free mode. So I'm gonna switch to free mode, so just let me just go nuts at how much damage I do. It'll be against a level 20 rock bear. It's weak against everything, so you'll see. I'll give you kind of like differences between hitting an enemy weak point and not hitting an enemy weak points. Because if you remember, like I said, if you haven't watched my other video, I strongly suggest you watch my other video and just a force explanation of how my build works and everything like that, how I have it. So I'll just show you real quick. In my class information, I believe it's under, my skills, you'll see that I have, as soon as I find it, of course you got your advanced tech and everything like that, but it's the weakness bonus that's in under Techer. If I switch to Techer, and you'll see why you should always max out elemental precision hit, and I'll show you, extra 20% damage makes the whole difference, especially when you match elements. So let's go and get started. Enough jibber jabber. So I'll start off with ice, since it's the first on my palette, and I'll just show you, how Il Barter works, and not necessarily Barter because the rock bear moves a little erratic, but kind of how you get your skills and your techs, use it, as you would use it. So we'll go ahead and get started. So go ahead, hit the button here. And so rock bear, of course, has 2 parts. He has his body, which is right here, and then he has, of course, his head, which is his weak point, and his body. He has another weak point in his back side too, right back. Well, yeah, no, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so he has 2 weak points. Main weak point being his head. So if you do normal damage to the backside, use just Barbarda, or trying to hit his front, you're not going to get a lot of damage until you start hitting his weak point. So now that's out the way. I'll go ahead and give him some room, and I'll just start hitting his weak points as soon as he's done doing all that. As a force, you don't really have to worry about them stopping, so just keep going his weak points. And as you can see, when you're hitting enemies' weak points, you can just really nail them down, and if you're not moving, you can see your PP is going up really fast. So you can use this on very slow enemies, or enemies that are actively attacking other enemies or other players. Now you've got your compound text at the bottom here. The rock bears gets everything. So another good way to use your compound text, depending on which ones, like for Melgion, you just need some space, and Barastian, you getting close. So as soon as he's done with this move, he's going to be pretty open, and you just light him up with this. And as you can see, you can get a lot of damage done to him. So now, after we're done with ice, we're going to switch to light. Now, light is a nice element to use against enemies, especially foul spawn. So as you can see, my damage total up the top, of course, with my compound attack. So now we'll use light, and we'll just see how much damage I can do real quick. And of course, as you do damage, you fill your bars up. So we'll just use this on him. And as you can see, you get a lot of damage done if you hit an enemy's weak points. So we'll use this here. So as long as you can nail down the enemy's weak point, you can see the damage I do when I don't hit them, and then when I do hit them. So, you know, kind of work around that. Make sure you can hit the weak points as much as you can. And you can see you can do some nice damage. And when you're not active in combat and you can stand still, so you can get your PP up really quick. Now, one of my favorite spells that I wish I can craft will be fire spells. So we'll see how quick I get damage with fire spells. And as you see, of course, you know, he's being really erratic and moving around and everything. Of course, and if you hit him, you know, with your rod shot, your PP will go up pretty fast. And then spells like Ilfo, you're gonna need some space to catch this. But as you can see, if he's not moving, or any slow boss, you can get them really good with the spell. But of course, you know, you can make sure that they're not really moving. But if you don't hit their weak point, don't feel bad about it. As you can see, Rafoi doesn't do a lot of damage, but with quick casting the fire spells, you can get your fire spells out really good. But it's just, it uses a lot of your PP. And then of course, we'll test Gifoi, which is a nice close spell to use against enemies. And so you can really rack up damage pretty good as long as you're hitting their weaknesses. Next, we'll do Dark Magic. Let him go ahead and do his thing. And so we just use Mijid. And Mijid is a little tricky to use because they have to be standing still a lot. But when they're not moving, you can get some good damage off on them. You know, provided you hit their weaknesses. Like I said, it's very situational of how you hit enemies, so make sure you do that. And of course, you got Namijid. You got to do charge it up for a while. And you can get a lot of damage done like that. And then you got this spell here. Which, like I said, is not my favorite. But, you know, I guess gets the job done for what it needs to do. Next, we do lightning spells. One of my favorite spells. You'll find yourself probably using this spell quite a bit, and I love using it, so Gizande. So when you're casting spells, make sure you're jumping so you can keep mobile. You don't want to be on the ground casting spells unless you need to. So always keep yourself moving and jumping. I'm able to do this easily because, like I said, I'm using a Pro Controller and I'm using one of my paddles to help me jump. Of course, I have Nazande here, but I gotta get pretty close to use this spell. And then, of course, I have Zondio, but I didn't change that spell. Lastly, you have Wind Magus. Like I said, it's not my favorite text to use, but in instances like Luther or anything like that, they're a nice spell to use, so we'll just, you know, show you what kind of damage you can do potentially if you nail enemy weaknesses with wind. And then when they open up Tokyo Free Field, a lot of enemies are weak against wind. I mean, wind is good for crowd control because, you know, it acts like a tornado. And you can see Rock Bear is moving every time I cast that sec when he's not moving. And then Ilzan. Like I said, they're not my favorite spells to use, but they're good for crowd control, for pulling enemies into vortex with spells like Ilzan. Of course, I don't have a really proper wind rod, but, you know, when I need to do damage, it's okay, I guess. Like I said, it's not my favorite element. And we'll do Zandian for the last one, because we didn't use that one yet. And then, you know, if you're doing more all out, as you can see, you could do a lot of crazy damage. And since my buttons are flipped around because I haven't configured my game for PC, that's okay. We'll roll with what I have right now. So we'll just do one more time for Ice, just to show you. This is one of my favorite elements to use, especially if you're doing Ultimate Quest. And you can see you could do some really good damage. But you know, this is just how my build goes. You know, other people have different builds. They'll sub hunter or whatever. You know, that's your playstyle. And you know, of course, this is my playstyle. So then with that, we'll go ahead and we'll leave Rockbear alone. I believe he's got much of a beating already. And so yeah, that's how my build works. You know, how I deal damage, and you know how I use my my compound text at the bottom here. You know how I use my palette. You know, I didn't use Hunter's Physique because you know it's just a Rockbear, I guess. And you know that just shows you how I deal with damage with the skills. You know, and of course this is how I have my mag. It's not maxed out because I had a bunch of tech into my mag, and well, a bunch of decks in my mag, I'm sorry, and it kind of screwed my mag up. So just real quick before I end the video on this, I'll show you how you should do your mags, which I have 3 mags, one for tech, one for power, and one for range. I do plan on making a dex mag later on, but right now I'm just focusing on the big 3. So you're feeding your mag, depending on what you're feeding your mag, of course the dex goes all the way up. If you're doing a striking mag, you can, of course, you're going to use rods, talismans, stuff like that. And then when you feed them, you notice that your dex is going to always go up. To drop the dex, feed it trimates. That drop, you can see it drops its dex right here. Drops dex, brings up your dex power a little bit. Dimates is for range, and monomates is for melee power. So make sure you always feed it trimates to make sure its dex goes down. Unless you're trying to level up dex, then you can just feed it dex. As you can see, dex goes all the way up. And armor, of course, depending on the type of it, will raise its range, melee, or tech. So make sure you're aware of that. But of course, we're going for tech mag. As you can see, able to raise my dex up, so I gotta feed another trimate. And of course, it's full. But anyway, there you go, guys. That's how my set works, how my skill work, how my build works, and how my weapons work. If you guys have any comments, about how you should work your skills or anything, just leave them down below. I'd like to help out as much people as I can. I will do more videos on the different classes because this is actually really fun to do, and I hope this helps you guys out. Be sure to like and comment down below because they do help me out and help improve the channel and the video quality for you guys. So until next time, guys, peace.